Music in The Legend of Zelda is an integral part to the series that has captivated fans since the very first appearance of the main theme. Why is music important to the series? How is it effective? And are there any secrets in the music to the Zelda franchise? Well, let's look at the meaning of music. Music means to produce beauty of form, harmony, and expression of emotion. The purpose of music in anything is to convey a feeling or to supplement a situation or a scenario so that one can feel the intended emotion or emotions on a powerful scale. Now, I'm not a scientist by any means, so I couldn't exactly tell you why music does this. However, I can show you how music has impacted myths, stories, and legends. Heck, even the ancient Greeks had a very large emphasis on music in almost every major myth. But that aside, I'm here to talk to you guys today about secrets in the Legend of Zelda franchise that you didn't know, or probably already knew most of these, but either way, hello everyone, yes, I am alive. I know it's been a little bit over a month. Times are tough, work is a pain, trying to get things consistent is a bit rough, trying to get there. Hopefully I eventually can do a little bit more consistent videos. But I digress. Let's get into the meat and bones, and yeah, let's aim for 100 views on this one, shall we? Alright, cool, let's go. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I listen to various video game and movie soundtracks daily. It evokes a sense of adventure for me, and it can play into whatever activity I'm doing at the time. So it could be writing, it could be playing a sport. It kind of supplements that, you know? It really just makes you feel that much more inspired or motivated. Within the last 10 or so years, Nintendo has really put an emphasis on creating cinematic soundtracks for its titles in universes like The Legend of Zelda. Breath of the Wild, Skyward Sword, and Twilight Princess are all testaments to this. This is often balanced with the story to create a really adventurous feeling experience. But today's video is about the secrets of the music in the Zelda franchise. From A Link to the Past to Breath of the Wild, you'll often find that there is more than meets the eye. A Link to the Past was released on the SNES back in 1991. It was a huge hit and has been regarded as the definitive Zelda experience. However, the game has a very fun secret that you can find in the very first few seconds upon booting up the game. The intro, where the Triforce is revealed and the title screen is shown, actually has a pretty interesting secret. See, if you listen to this piece very closely, you'll find that it is very, very, very similar to Tchaikovsky's Nutcracker cadenza. For those who don't know who he is or aren't aware, Tchaikovsky is a famous composer who created pieces such as the Nutcracker and the Dance of the Sugar Plum Fairy. This intro to A Link to the Past is very, very similar, and one could even say inspired by the Nutcracker cadenza. Take a listen. This theme also makes another appearance in A Link Between Worlds, and makes the correlation that much more obvious. In Ocarina of Time, it's pretty obvious that the ocarina and the music that you play is a pretty important part of the story. But there's a fun secret within it. Much like A Link to the Past, Ocarina has its own secret in its intro. The intro theme for Ocarina of Time is used across the Zelda series when traveling via ocarina or flute, specifically in games like Minish Cap and Link's Awakening. And many of Ocarina of Time's songs would be used in another future title. Ocarina of Time, along with games like Twilight Princess, also featured an Easter egg to the 1982 film Conan the Barbarian. Basil Poldoris, the composer for the score, was contracted by Nintendo to create a special trailer theme for Ocarina of Time, which would also be used in Twilight Princess.
This very specific theme is a slight variation to the song Riddle of Steel or Riders of Doom from the 1982 film. And his daughter, Zoe Polduris, actually recorded the vocals for the trailer as well. Take a listen.
Majora's Mask, I love you. With your infuriating water temple and anger-inducing 3-day cycle, you are one of my favorite Zelda games. However, this game has several secrets. For example, when it essentially rewards you for playing the inverted Song of Time, which is the Song of Time in reverse, and the Song of Double Time, it has a particular purpose to the game, either being able to skip time or to slow it down. The game also introduces new instruments, which, when played together, actually create an awesome little orchestra. In The Wind Waker, one of the direct sequels to Ocarina of Time next to Twilight Princess, you'll find the reappearance of songs like the Sun Song, only under a different name, and a reprise of the famous Hyrule Castle theme from A Link to the Past, as well as the very same intro theme I mentioned earlier. Alright, let's not beat around the bush. Twilight Princess is the game that really resonated with the edgy teenager in all of us. Another direct callback in the music is playing Epona's song through the horseshoe-shaped reed to summon Epona, as you would in Ocarina of Time. However, another interesting secret specific to this game is when Link turns into a wolf, he can use Howling Stones to communicate and find the hero's shade, a dark and mysterious shade who teaches Link hidden skills to use in combat. The songs that Link howls from the stones are pretty cool Easter eggs, not just because they're recognizable songs like the Song of Healing or Nocturne of Shadow, but in-universe, they're actually songs that the hero's shade himself used in Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. Yes, the hero's shade is Link from Ocarina of Time. If you still want to debate this with me, go to Hyrule Historia. It's right there. It says it. Plus, why else would he use songs from those games specifically to communicate with Link, his supposed descendant?
Coincidence? I think not!
In Skyward Sword, a huge secret that went relatively unnoticed at first glance was the Ballad of the Goddess, which was a song given by Hylia, and was in fact Zelda's lullaby in reverse. Although there isn't a specific in-universe explanation, as far as I'm aware of, plenty of theories have arisen, and it is no secret that this was intentional from the start. Theories range from Zelda turning the ballad into a lullaby for her descendants, merely being an homage for the 25th anniversary. It is still a neat secret that makes me go, huh, pretty cool, to this day. Breath of the Wild, the game that many of us thought would never come out, largely due to our extreme impatience as Zelda and Nintendo fans, stood out as one of the best-selling Nintendo games ever, and even winning the Game of the Year award over Mario Odyssey. Breath of the Wild on its own has secrets that can be covered for hours, from gameplay tricks, story secrets, Zonai speculations, and so much more. There are many secrets hidden in the music, from the Temple of Time to the obvious Zelda's Lullaby. But this theory has been definitely covered multiple... But this following theory that I'm about to tell you has been covered multiple times and is in no way my own, so please do not think that I'm trying to claim this as my own theory. That out of the way,
If you listen closely to the Divine Beast themes upon entering each one, so Va Rudania, Va Meadow, Va Ruta, and Va Naboris, you will hear a Morse code in each theme for SOS. This is a pretty dark theory, especially for when you consider the fact that the SOS signal in Va Meadow's theme is later than the others, thus insisting that even Rivali, with his prideful nature, couldn't stop from asking for help. It's a pretty dark theory, so go watch the original video up here at the card that shows how this actually sounds. And now finally, the moment we've all been waiting for. While Breath of the Wild 2 is some time away, most likely, unless we get some very good news at E3, theorists have been dissecting the trailer since its release. From Ganondorf's return to the Zonai, the trailer is pretty cryptic. Many claim to hear the words "help us please" when playing the song in reverse, among other creepy and dark lyrics. However, something that not a lot of people, including myself up until recently, have noticed is an infamous theme which appeared in Ocarina of Time when you entered Ganon's castle. This theme has been a staple in the Zelda series, appearing in Twilight Princess, Skyward Sword for a cameo, and even slightly in Breath of the Wild. You listen extremely close amidst the intensifying strings and the berserk piano notes, you can hear an organ in the background playing none other than Ganondorf's theme. In my opinion, this further proves the larger role that Ganondorf will play in the sequel, whatever that may be. While E3 is just around the corner and many of us are speculating what can come of this, if we do get a new trailer for the next Zelda installment, be sure to listen for musical cues or sound cues and see if there's any secrets that you can find that may be fun Easter eggs or could pertain to the story as a whole. Well everyone, that's all for today. I know this is a little bit different structured video and it's more like a list, but I thought this was really cool and I thought this was something fun to cover. I know I didn't cover everything, so if there's a fun Zelda music related secret that I missed, feel free to share that down below. I'd love to hear it and I'd love to go check it out. I will be hosting an E3 live stream on the 15th for Nintendo, so if you've got nowhere else to be, nothing else to do, come on by, say hello, and we'll see our reactions to everything that's unveiled at E3 for Nintendo. And until then, I'll catch you later.